So if you haven't been to YANovCon, this is the second year, and I was lucky enough to attend last year, which is where I met Gretchen, and I'm really excited because this year it's even bigger than it was last year.
Bigger this year.
If you have the opportunity to come tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I really encourage it. There are 5 different panels happening during the day, so I'm really excited for that. So let's get started. Let's start down there with the questions and then come back, and then we can switch back. So Martha, you're up first.
Pressure.
I know, right?
Are we using mics or are we not using mics?
What do you guys
The
think?
mics are on.
They're on. Oh, okay, they're ambient. I like that.
Yeah.
I
You
can
can
project.
move closer. You can.
I did 4 periods of school visits today, so my voice is a little trash. So,
No,
so
it's
did
not.
Jessica. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. 4 school visits, that's a lot. So let's say you're in a bookstore, maybe you're in Books Inc., and someone picks up your book, turns to you and says, do you know anything about this one? What would you tell them?
Put it back.
Oh, I've read that one several times. Now, I would tell you, this is a story of Henry and Flora, who in 1937 are 2 jazz musicians who fall in love without realizing that they're pawns of love and death themselves. And love, I used to read a lot of Greek mythology when I was a kid, and love and death are kind of my version of the Greek gods. They're shapeshifters, they're immortal, and they're bad actors. I feel like that author has amazing shoes. I would ask them first and foremost if they knew what a Manic Pixie Dream Girl was, because a lot of people don't know what that is. And it's a character trope. It's a quirky, effervescent girl that is introduced to the male main character and opens his eyes to the magic of the world, but does so without any goals of her own or character of her own other than making him happy and wonderful, which just ticks me off like there's no tomorrow. So, and then I'd be like, do you hate sexism in YA novels? And he'd be like, who are you, crazy? And then I would really emphasize the fact that it's a feminist rom-com, and I feel like in this time of troubled politics, having a girl-positive feminist rom-com for teenage girls Just makes you want to grab it.
Yeah, I know. Just grab it by the spine.
You're the author. You can do that without permission.
Yeah, it's true. I'm famous, so I can grab a book by the spine, with impunity. They love it. Don't tweet that.
I feel like at this point the reader has disappeared. And I'm stuck talking to the book itself. So I think the first thing I always ask is, have you seen Groundhog Day? And then when the teens say no, I feel really old. And then I get over that, and then I tell them, oh great, then this is a completely original concept about a girl who gets stuck in the same Monday over and over and over. It's the worst Monday of her life, in which her boyfriend breaks up with her, and she gets stuck in this time loop of reliving this same Monday over and over. And she has to continue to try to keep her boyfriend from breaking up with her until she realizes that that is not the biggest problem with this day. It is actually a much bigger issue that she's having that she needs to fix. And then for this one, Boys of Summer, I actually just heard someone online pitch this as Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants with Boys. And I was like, I'm taking that
Yes.
and I'm running with it. Yeah. So it's like a boy friendship story where they all vacation on the same island every summer. This summer is going to be completely different because not only are they all dealing with very personal tragedies that is reshaping who they are, but the bro code has been multiple times broken. And if you don't know, the bro code is don't date a friend's ex, don't date a friend's sister. Smashed to pieces. Yeah. So it's boy drama, basically.
Boys.
Speaking of boys.
Here's our
So, for
Present.
mine, I just say, do you like to read about teenagers having sex?
And then you get arrested.
And
Super cool.
if you like to do it legally, I say you like
It's true.
Oh, BT.
So we talk about sex and spines.
All right, so you guys can answer in whatever order you want to for following this. So picture your writing space. What 5 items are in it?
Well, my dog won't leave me alone. So the 6.5-pound fluffy white Maltese is going to be within like a 2-foot radius of me at all times. Coffee cup, laptop, obviously, lap desk because I don't write at desks. I write on a chaise.
She has a really cool lap desk, by the way.
Yes, I do. It's called a lap wing.
I bought one.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Do you
did.
love it?
Mhm.
Love it. It like sounds really dirty, but it sits between your thighs, and so you like clip onto it and like right.
That sounds
It
like
is a little
something that
dirty.
Suzanne Summers would add.
It is. Now, if I could do like thigh crunches while I maybe this is the invention.
you
That
should
don't
try
steal
that.
it.
I think you should try. Right.
Authors, we would make a fortune if we could sell some sort of workout device while we sit on our butts for 8 hours and write all day. Oh, what were we at?
That was 4.
4.
Your dignity.
Not since the 90s. I only have 4. That's it. I got a coffee cup, a laptop, a desk, and a dog, which is really wow. I need to reassess my life choices.
I'll go. I got 2 big, huge monitors. One for my writing, one for so I can procrastinate a lot. 2 iPads so I can procrastinate even more. A coffee cup in various stages of that it needs to be reheated so I can procrastinate on doing that. I think that's 5.
Yeah,
2
2
monitors, 2 iPads, and 1 coffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have 3 monitors, Brad. So I
Oh
I
my
got you.
God.
Who
Yeah.
are you people with desks and monitors?
I've got like
What is
it's
this?
like my command center, and I've got my manuscript in the front in the center monitor, my outline on the left, and I usually have something open on the right, like thesaurus.com or
Not like
you know,
eBay
or like my
No
no.
wonder you get
Do you sit in a chair like this, like reclined? Just like
It actually hovers just above. No. So I'm gonna count my 3 monitors as 1, but
That's it right there. That's why she's
I'm not
12
getting this.
books.
Checkout line.
Yeah.
The grocery
No.
store with her.
She's
got
like
47
the fruit are all
tangerines.
one item.
Yeah.
All fruit, one item.
I do often cheat that line. And then I've got I've got a Ravenclaw banner on my door, which is like my do not disturb sign, because I'm a Ravenclaw.
Who would disturb you?
Anybody else in the house like knows that once the Ravenclaw banner's up, you don't knock unless the house is on fire. And the dogs are not very good at following that rule, I will say.
They don't read so good.
They don't read so good.
They don't have knuckles.
They're like, we're Hufflepuff. We don't adhere to this. I've got my noise canceling headphones where I blast white noise music or white noise sound to block it all out, and coffee. So.
3 coffees.
It's amazing how that
All the coffee.
that writers drink coffee.
My big thing is though, I only drink coffee when I write, so I won't drink it any other time, and that way it like works super good because I sit down, my brain's like, ooh, coffee, that means writing. It's like it's very Pavlovian, but it works.
I can just see you like super aggro, like coffee, and then you just like write 40 million words.
Yeah, it also becomes a treat too. So if like I want my coffee, I gotta be writing. So
So
it's like
bitterness
a
is your treat.
award.
Nice.
You haven't tasted my coffee. There's a lot of sugar in there.
Do you drink coffee?
I do drink coffee, but really, you know, and I often work with my dogs, but I'll often also just take a walk in my neighborhood, and there's a cupcake store on the corner, and I don't have cupcakes, and it's one of those things. It's like I'm here, but I'm not having a cupcake because I am here to work, and I don't know why we punish ourselves as writers, but that's sort of what we do. I also have headphones, and I wrote a lot of this book by listening to a Hungarian accordion player. Because if you choose music that you don't write or you don't listen to in any other context, you're like, this is my music for writing. And it is all about training yourself, because this is a spoiler alert, it's kind of hard to write books. And really, I mean, because there's so, you know, you have infinite choices. There's all the words that you could use, and you could have all the things happen, but of course books cannot use all the words, and all the things can't happen. You have to find the right things that happen, and so anything that you can do to narrow those opportunities. And but yeah, when I am working with my dogs, I have candles going because the dogs fart.
A lot of dogs. You did not talk about your dogs.
My dogs
You all
are
have
there too,
dogs.
but I had only had 5.
I only
I
have
couldn't
1.
count everything as one.
Life forms around me. This is one.
what were you like as a young adult, and which of your characters would you have been friends with?
Okay, high school friends. Don't answer this question. Section of the room, please. I don't know. Martha, you want to talk about high school?
I'll talk about high school. High school was really hard. You know, I wanted to give this sense that I had everything all under control and everything all together, and that was not true. I was full of fear and self-doubt and a smidgen of self-loathing, and it just, you know, I would never go back to that time, and I have nothing but love and compassion for people who are in middle school and high school, and, you know, just everything is new, and you just feel like the stakes are super high. I was incredibly nerdy. You know, I love, like, if you said, did you want to read Elements of Style or Sassy? I'd be like, I would choose the Elements of Style. And that's not a fashion thing, that's like grammar. And, you know, I was definitely that kid. I had a million activities going on. I went to orchestra camp. It's true. It's a true
Nothing
story.
wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with orchestra. But you know how there's that movie One Time at band camp? It's a joke. Orchestra camp takes that joke and it turns it up one notch more. And so I was that kid. I also was an athlete and got 12 varsity letters and was the captain of 4 teams. And so, like, super nerdy, but a jock. And I would not have been friends with any of my characters because they all would have terrified me.
Well,
I was crazy. I was crazy in high school, and I think it's pretty accurate. It's a pretty accurate description.
That's what we love about you.
I'm slightly less crazy now. In fact, when some of my high school friends met my husband, they were like, she's calmed down a lot. Like, somehow he needed to be warned that, like, I was even crazier at some point in time. I was an extrovert in a world of introverts, and I think that's a really good description of what it was like. Like, I was surrounded by introverts. All my high school friends are introverts. I'm the only, like, I was just crazy, like, and it was just, like, exploding out of me all the time. And I was a performer, so I was on stage, and, like, and I was performing in class. Like, I was performing all the time, and I didn't understand the line between where you should get attention without irritating everyone around you, and where you need to defer to others. I think there are some characters in my books that are like that are just, like, so, like, pent-up extrovert that they're, like, exploding all the time. And I frequently write them as boys in my books, frequently gay boys, I think, probably because inside I'm a gay man. So I think I sort of have written myself into a few books that way, with this sort of just like vibrational energy all the time. That's what I was like in high school. It was not fun to be around. My poor mother.
So big shocker, I was an overachiever. And now I write 5 books a year. So so I was, like, obsessed with my GPA. Like, the number of the GPA was, like, so important. And I remember when I got my first B, and it was like, I mean, the world had ended. And so it was like everything was about that number and about, like, the stats. I was obsessed with stats. I was obsessed with, like, what the world saw, how the world viewed me. And on top of that, I was very, 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 very boy crazy. And when I go to my...
How did those two things work out?
Yeah. Well.
You keep stats with that?
I did have boy stats. Like, I mean, it was, like, almost like batting average. Like, it was crazy. That's weird. Anyway, when I go to my school visits, I share pieces of my teenage diary, and each page is a different boy. And it's like, but it's not just like, oh, I noticed him. It's like, I am in love with him and we are going to get married. And he doesn't know it. And then the next day it was like, well, forget him. I'm in love with this person. It's very intense. And so
I totally see you.
Yeah.
But it's no, you know, when I set out to write a book from a boy's point of view, it's no wonder I could not choose one. I had to write 3 boy points of view. So it is the boys of summer,
I'm
not
surprised
the
it was
boy
only
of summer.
3.
I know. There might have been some cut ones. So I'd like to say I wouldn't be friends with these boys. I would try to date them all in a week.
For the record, we met originally on a blind date.
Yeah. I can't believe you said that.
In front of her husband.
He knows.
We're all friends.
So it didn't work out, is what you're saying.
Oh, it worked out.
This is a teen event.
Not your mother.
What was I like in high school? I was the captain of the football team, class president.
You're the guy we write about.
I was too lazy to even read the cliff notes. Like they came around and like asked who read Moby Dick. I'm like, are you kidding me? Did anybody read this book?
And the three of us would have been like, and Brad's like, what? I threw a touchdown. Boom.
Would you like a summary?
I would
How
have
much
written a
extra
strongly
credit points
worded
is that?
editorial for the newspaper about
But I was one of those who had a massively secret crush on like the geekiest, hardest triers, but like you couldn't mix those crowds, right? So if you ask me who are my favorite characters that I relate to most, it's probably Penelope from this book, and but basically all three of my books. The third one comes out next year. They're all told in alternating chapters between the girl and boy characters. In my third book, one of the characters is this very feminine gay boy, and he's
Spoiler.
half my soul. So so that's the complexity of life.
All right. So to bring it to kind of now, who would you be a roommate with now? Which of your characters would you roommate with now?
I love your questions. These are so
I'll start. Carolina from my first book was super organized and super clean, and a little bit based on my wife. It's really nice. Like I literally will put a dish down, and like 2 seconds later, it's gone. And this is a girl that she's a doctor, so she's doing 5,000 other things as well. But it's nice.
My characters, in all but the pink book before me, my characters all murder people. All of my books are about teens murdering other teens. So when you ask me who would I want as a roommate, like none of them. I don't know. I think from Get Even and Get Dirty, I wrote this character. We were actually talking about it at dinner. I wrote this really, not going to say dumb, I'm going to say intellectually challenged character named Olivia, who's she's popular, she's the star of the drama program, she doesn't put A and B together particularly well in any regard, but she's so earnest. And like, you want a roommate that's like not too smart, you know, like you don't want them like breaking into your room or like figuring out your like Facebook password, but you want someone that's like earnest, like you're gonna believe them when they say they didn't take that $20 out of your wallet. So I think Olivia, yeah. No, she didn't murder anybody. She didn't.
So one of my characters in this book is deaf, and I would not be deaf's roommate. That would be a poor life choice. And I believe in #making good choices. But the character Henry in this book, so he's the male protagonist, his personality is my husband's personality. He is an incredibly generous, warm, loving person, and I chose him for a roommate, in fact.
Long-term
Long-term
roommate.
We got a long-term situation going. We don't just lease it, we own it.